who knows? I'm just more optimistic than pessimistic. Not that we won't see some things that I won't like or you won't like, but just that in the overall scheme of things, I think we've got a lot of creativity here to deal with some of the problems that we have. We just have to get out of our way. My name is Amy Levek. I've been here for 29 years. I got here in 1987 to be the planning director for the town of Telluride. I've done a number of other things, including being director of the Arts Council, consulting to arts organization, serving on town council, and serving as mayor. So I've been very much involved in this community and seen a lot of changes. You know, as a planner, I deal with change. And things are always changing. That's part of being healthy. It's part of being alive. You know, you're always changing. And I think that we sometimes think that places are frozen in time. We're going to have redevelopment. We're going to have things that are changing. We're going to have buildings that are changed in their use. We're going to have properties that undergo redevelopment. And I think there are opportunities for creativity, that things are not always set as they appear to be. I mean, we're sitting right now in East Telluride. Almost everything here is brand new, or at least new within the past 30 to 40 years. So physically things have changed, but the character of the town, the mass and scale, what people feel, I think is very much the same, you know, as it has been. It's just much more expensive and more of it. There has always been a very strong community and involved community here, although I do think that's stressed, but it is one of the reasons that I ended up staying here, because I felt that people cared about the place and were willing to get involved in order to you know, make it the kind of place or keep it the kind of place that they wanted it to be. When I think about what it takes to stay in this community, it's getting harder and harder and harder, and we're not going to be able to house everyone. It's a physical impossibility, but I'd like to see us do what we can to have a diversity of people here. People have been displaced, and that's a real issue. So as a planner, I think we have to start thinking a little bit more about alternative kinds of housing, more density, and things that maybe aren't what people typically think about when they think about how they might be living. I do a lot of historic research, and a lot of it is about Telluride. And you know, I'm doing some research now on rooming houses and boarding houses, and I think that those are a type of housing that we haven't really explored, and there might be some relevance. I don't know. I mean, I think it's time to be creative and to start thinking differently about what meets people's needs. Because of the historic research that I do, I see some trends that kind of have repeated themselves in Telluride's history. Housing has always been a problem. If we're successful mining community, successful ski resort, successful on other bases, people want to come here. And that means that there's always going to be that tension between you know, those that want to live here, those that want to participate, and those that serve those that want to be here. There's never enough housing. Another thing is, the arts have always been part of Telluride. I mean, in the mining days, opera houses were a big deal. We had at least 3 different opera houses in Telluride, and you know, incredible entertainment that would come through, going from mining community to mining community. So I think that's part of our heritage too, and it's kind of interesting to think about how that's you know, that's always been important. I think what's most important when you look at it from an historical perspective is not to keep everything exactly as it is, but to preserve the integrity of the community.